There's a philosopher called Alain de Botton who produced a book, The Architecture of Happiness. And he suggested that architecture has the power to make people happy or unhappy. To what extent do you think that architecture can actually change the way people behave or feel? And for instance, let's say in the context of Sri Lanka after the war, do you think it's possible for architecture to play a role in, for instance, reconciling communities and so on?
Now, you asked me two questions, so I'll try and give you two different answers. The first is, you must know that my background is I come from a program which did this thing called space syntax with Bill Hillier, which is about social and spatial structures. I think that architecture can play a very clear role in how you define relationships between people, right? As to whether that makes them happy or not, I'm not very sure about, right? But one thing I do know, and I'm very clear about, is that I do believe that good architecture can heal wounds and help in that process, whereas bad architecture may not. You know?
So, I mean, do you think that it's possible, for instance, in the present context, to create an architecture which somehow does speak to all the different communities?
Yes, because I think that if you look at Sri Lankan architecture square in the face, as you said, it is absorbed from Persia, China, everywhere. You know, and if you take that whole mix and take it forward without being sidetracked into labeling anything, then I think that is possible, right? And I think that that's the way one should look at it. One should look at all good architecture, not into any labels. Any good architecture should inspire you and be used to take things further.